Okay, so as many of you know, I'm going to be for the next 6 months or so teaching my new course in different parts of the world, starting with North America this coming weeks. And quite a few people have expressed certain concerns about, what's it really about, and is it going to be too scientific or whatever. And I want to point out that the course itself, the way I'm doing it, is going to be quite simple, right? I'm not going into heavy science. I'm not going to be talking about all sorts of things except maybe scalar waves and torsion fields, which are pretty easy. You just got to see photos of them, and that's pretty straightforward. But I'll be addressing the fact that all communication in the world, is by torsion fields, and the substrata of the world is scalar waves. And once you understand that, and by giving examples of it, then it comes down to practical application of this information. And it's a 2-day course. I could do all the theory in one day, although I'll spread it out, because I want to emphasize you experiencing it. So we're going to be doing a lot of practical. We're doing the practical so you can experience it, but also that you can realize how easy it is. Once you overcome the basic concepts, I want you all to be able to leave the seminar feeling confident that you can do every aspect of that course first thing with your first patient the following day. And because to me, this is so fundamental. This is something you really need to know, because it's going to enhance every aspect of BodyTalk you've learned, and many other different things. And that's why the practical component. In fact, we're even allowing a few non-body talkers in who have a very strong interest in the field. Now, they won't get to do practical because they won't be able to, but they can receive it, but they will get the information. I've had a lot of requests on that because there are people who are very interested in this and understanding at depth the way the body works, and even understanding some of the phenomenon. Couple of the interesting ones that understands why you can treat somebody on Mars instantaneously, right? And anywhere else in the world, why you can treat multiple people if they can fit into a particular formula or need. And one of the interesting things that's come up in Russia and in Germany that explains some really interesting stuff. They found that if you're like on a computer and you do an audio, now some of you know, when I do my distant treatments, I do an audio. And when I do that audio, it turns out the voice signature that's happening, even if it's on tape or electronic, whatever, the voice signature will hold the torsion fields with the information of that treatment. And according to where I direct it, and I don't have to direct it to an individual person, I can direct it to a group, and if members of that group have a desire to receive that information or need to receive that information, they've shown it is held in the audio tape, and when you listen to the audio tape, you actually release the torsion fields and receive the information and get treated. Okay? They've actually shown too, I learned this a long time ago, that if I do handwriting and write out something by hand, like a treatment, and then you hold that and read my handwriting, you will actually get the same effect of torsion fields. I don't do that anymore because I know very few people who can read my handwriting. But when we look at that, and I'm going to look at it in a bit more depth than that, we can actually have a detailed scientific explanation of why you can do distant treatment, and even more importantly, why you can actually not listen to an audio tape for several months, then listen to it and get a treatment from it. Okay? Again, why you can not be watching this live or anything I'm doing live, but later on when you watch it on video and the sound comes across, you will get the effect of the treatment that I'm doing. And the other interesting thing is that the more you understand it, the more powerfully that works. Okay? But these techniques, that's why I'm focusing. I'm not covering a lot of stuff, but I'm focusing at what I cover. You will go away that you feel you really understand it and know it, because understanding is extremely important. And of course, the understanding of things like that dynamic, that, you know, the sound of the voice actually holds the torsion fields, is a really quite an incredible one. So from that point of view, don't think it's going to be a heavy course. That's why you basically fundamentals and module 3 is all you need. But I can assure you that once you've done this course, you will be using it in 90% of your treatments, because it can enhance everything. There'll be contraindications to it. And sometimes you'll be using it for some part of a treatment, not others. And I'll be explaining why. Because ultra-fast communication in the body is very good for some things, but it's not good for others, right? You don't want to have a hormone released by the pituitary gland and instantaneously arrive at the ovaries. You want it to take a passage. There are quite a few things that require time. In other words, things to go more slowly through the bloodstream or more slowly along the nervous system. Otherwise, the changes can't occur the way you want them to. But there are many things that instantaneous communication enables complex factors to come together extremely quickly and extremely effectively. And that's why your big computers, the supercomputers, can process things that the smaller computers can't, because they're not fast enough, right? So it's a bit like, you know, the really top computers, and like quantum computers, etc., can do it so quickly. They can do unscrambled things other computers can't. Well, this course is to be able to make you working with BodyTalk as a supercomputer.